Bartz Cabe is a wanderer, a worshiper, and a writer who explores and teaches self-awareness through meditation, movement, and breath release work. This is her CD, and it also is on the back of it. It's called Lovely, Timeless, Nameless Now. She's going to read a very present piece because this is part of the property, or near the property that she grew up on. She'll read Christmas, 1969.
This, in fact, it used to be my family's property. My grandmother and grandfather moved into this house in 1935. Well, actually, not this house, they built this house. And then as a child, we would come up here to visit them, and when I was 6 years old, we moved into the house next door. And that's where I spent my youth. And this is a story. Sorry, Jeff, it is in fact a Christmas story. Where's Jeffrey? He's really going to be in trouble by the end of this day. This is Christmas, 1969. Usually, we put up the outdoor Christmas decorations the Saturday after Thanksgiving. But on Friday, Mom announced that we would wait until Sunday for Skip. We really need a man's help, was how she put it, now that the trees have gotten so tall. When Grandma died, she left her house to my older brother, and now he lived next door to us. He worked as a DJ at WKNY in Kingston on Saturday nights, but he always managed to stumble in for dinner on Sunday afternoon and then stayed to watch football. We can put the lights on at halftime, Mom said. 7 years ago, when we moved into the house at 66 Mountain Rest Road, Mom and Dad had planted a matching pair of young blue spruce trees, one on either side of the driveway. Daddy went into the hospital soon after that, but he came back home for Christmas, and he and Mom put lights on the trees for the first and last time. He died the following spring. Every year since, we had put lights on the trees, and now they were over 7 feet tall. Perfect Christmas trees. On Saturday, it snowed. The twins and I pulled all the cardboard boxes and plastic bags of Christmas stuff down from the attic. Barbara said she was too busy to help. She was acting all high and mighty now that she had started her first year of college at New Paltz and had moved into Skip's old room downstairs. I had just turned 14 and was in my freshman year at New Paltz High. The twins, Susie and Betty, were in 6th grade at the campus school. Susie and I used fishing line to hang the white styrofoam reindeer in the living room picture window. Mom fussed over her hand-made plastic drinking straw wreath, spraying it with canned snow to make it all white and fluffy again. Betty dusted off the red felt elves and tiny foil-wrapped presents, and then we rewired them back onto the wreath. Helping Mom as she hung her masterpiece over the electric heater fireplace, we complained, yet again, that we didn't have a real one to hang our stockings on. We had begged and begged Mom to put in a real fireplace when she had remodeled the living room a few years ago, but this electric model with its plastic logs that glowed a vibrating red and yellow when the heat was on was all that she came up with. When you pay the bills, you can do whatever you want, she said, shrugging off our whines about the fireplace, just as she shrugged off our pleas for a real Christmas tree. A couple of days ago, Skippy had said he was going to cut a cedar from the back field for his house, and that he'd get one for us too. But Mom said, no, it's too much work and too much mess. She said it in her I mean it voice. But I argued anyway that it was just as much work, if not more, to put together and take apart the artificial tree. She glared at me and said, I said no. And so we got down the box with the plastic tree and stuck it in the hallway by the front door. Sunday morning we had finished our breakfast of bagels and cream cheese and hot chocolate and were all busy in the living room, Mom reading the Sunday paper, the twins pawing through ornaments and old Christmas cards, Barb and I untangling strings of Christmas lights. And suddenly, Barbara looked out the picture window and screamed, "It's gone! The tree! It's gone!" All five of us rushed to the window and stood in shocked silence. Sure enough, where one of our snow-dusted blue spruce trees was supposed to be was only a foot of stump fringed with broken branches. Barbara was hysterical. The twins started to cry. I felt like I couldn't breathe. But Mom just stood, quietly gripping the windowsill and staring out into our violated front yard. "We have to do something," Barbara went clomping down the stairs with the twins in hot pursuit. Mom didn't even yell about coats and hats. She just stood there with her face a stone mask, and I stood there with her. We could hear my sisters scrambling for coats and boots downstairs, and then the sound of the garage door opening, and as we saw Barb and the twins running down the driveway, Mom's voice cracked. "How could someone do a thing like that?" I looked up at her in horror. My mother was starting to cry. I had only ever seen Mom cry once before, a couple of years ago when the pool had cracked. A huge ache rose up in my chest, and I grasped for her. "Oh, Mommy, please don't cry. We'll get the tree back." And even as I said it, I knew that there was nothing that would make this better. Even if we found the tree, it couldn't be put back on its stump. It was a dead tree now. Sobbing, I clung to my mother, and she stroked my hair and told me it would be all right. Then she took a shuddering breath and hugged me hard. "It's only a tree," she said, pushing me and the tears away. Her attention shifted to my sisters. "Oh, what the hell are they doing out there?" She began banging at the window, and Barb and the twins, now midway into the snowy yard, stopped, dead in their tracks. Mom strode to the front door, pushed through the pile in front of it, wrenched it open, and yelled, "Stay away from there! I want the police to see it before you tromp all over things." She went to the phone and called the town and the state police. After that, she called Skip, then my oldest sister, Irene, and her husband, John. Skippy got there first, followed by the police. Irene and John showed up in a little while, and Rini burst out of the car and into tears as she grabbed her nearest sister. The police examined the site as the rest of us stood by, helpless in the frosty morning air. They thought they could make out at least 2 sets of footprints in the snow. It appeared that the vandals had left their car on the road, come into the yard, sawed down our tree, and then dragged it to their car. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Bartz. We'll do what we can, but finding a Christmas tree at Christmas time will be hard to do." Then Officer Joe's face brightened. "If we do find it, though, ID will be positive." He pointed to the raw, oozing stump sticking out of the dirty snow. "Every tree's rings are unique, like fingerprints.